again because this country gave me the opportunity to stand up. And that's something that a lot of people lose sight of. If you pull a layer back, you'll see that at each one of these big tech companies, they are actually hiring people that have worked for the Democrats. At Twitter, their comms director worked for Kamala Harris as her press secretary. At Instagram, theirs used to work for Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. And at Facebook, theirs worked for Barbara Boxer. The list goes on and on. I could be here my entire time slot if I kept going. They recently had Joe Biden on CNN, and they did something that I never thought CNN would do, but they asked him about the Uyghurs in China who are being raped, tortured, and children are being kidnapped, forced to praise China as their mother and to praise communism as their savior. They asked Joe Biden about it, and he said it amounted to a mere cultural difference. I don't think that more disgusting words have ever left the lips of an American president. And it was at that moment that if you didn't already know that he was not an American president, that was the moment where you should have known he was China's first president of America. And why is that important? That's important because our own culture is shifting. So if he can discredit that to just a mere cultural difference, what will the leader of the Democratic Party and the Democratic Party at large do when our own culture shifts to a point where, I can give you an example. Recently, a lawyer at PBS, yes, PBS, where they make children's show, a lawyer there called for Republicans' children to be put into re-education camps. So what happens if our own culture shifts to that point where that becomes acceptable? I think we all know the answer to that, and that's why we have to fight back. So I want to praise the people who are doing it right. People like the Daily Wire, who just hired Gina Carano after she was fired by Disney and Lucasfilms. Ron DeSantis and Josh Hawley, who are fighting through legislation. And now to all of us, what we need to do, we need to put the pressure on our AGs, our state legislatures, our congressmen, congresswomen. We need to pressure our governors to go ahead and bring that fight the same way that Ron DeSantis and Josh Hawley have, and people like Matt Gaetz, who's following after me. Because this is our last stand. This is freedom's last stand. If America falls, freedom falls. And so we all need to double our efforts. This country is what makes possible for my own mom to come from Cuba, going into the unknown, leaving the only home she'd ever known after it was stolen by communism, only able to bring one item with her. She brought a doll that was passed down in the family, and that doll, its head was smashed in by a soldier. And I say that because I want you to know that that's what leftism does. It steals everything from you. And so this is our last stand. I hope you join me in fighting for freedom. That's why I'm able to stand up here. That freedom in America is the reason I can be here and say that I am running for Congress in the state of Tennessee in 2022. Lastly, I just want to say that this is my last remark. Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, a wave of lions is coming in 2022. We will not allow you to get away with what you've gotten away with anymore. You fight for the establishment, we fight for the people, so get ready because you are going to have the biggest fight on your hands that you two have ever had, and that goes for everybody else in big tech. Thank you, guys.